Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living, excuse me, weekly live broadcast on Sunday, January the 15th of 2017. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Today's prayer and healing circle is dedicated to praying for the safety of all of those who will be attending the inauguration, the Million Women's March, and all of the related activities that are coming up this week. I know there are the women's marches at various cities around the country. I believe there is one near me here in Florida and Southern Florida. And I do believe they're going on around the country, if not the world. I'm not really sure about that part, but there will be a lot happening this week with the inauguration as well. So we pray today for wisdom, for justice and peace, because without wisdom there can be no justice, and without justice there can be no peace. So, sometimes we approach these intentions and prayers, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, from a place of fear and like kind of holding that image of dread of the worst, like seeing, oh gosh, the worst is going to happen and what are we going to do, and really just kind of the fear of lack, fear that our brothers and sisters will not step up and do what it is that we pray and hope that they will do. And whether or not that is true, I believe that our best service can come from holding each other in the highest light possible in order to uplift humanity as a whole, and and to uplift each other. So before we go too far into that, let's go ahead and gather into our prayer and healing circle for today. Just imagine us coming together in a circle, forming a circle and bringing our heart centers to face forward toward the center of the circle. And we call on the essence of the One in the name of the One, the most merciful, the ever compassionate, the essence of divine light, the essence of unconditional love, the source of all peace and healing. We call on you. We direct our prayers to you. Now let's just take a minute and connect with this essence. This is the same essence that is breathed into the core of our beings. That is what gives us life force, what gives us presence. That which we are made of and reflect in this world, in this material world. So it is the same as that which is within us and which makes up the essence of our beings. So whether we call on it from outside of ourselves or within ourselves, it is the same and inseparable from that which we call on. There is a higher intelligence. There is a source of life. There is an all-knowing, all-wise that orchestrates this world that we live in, that, thank goodness, knows more than we do of what is happening in this world, what is being made in this world. So in this moment, as we come together, let's just bring our hearts to face the center of the circle, turning that energy center, the front of your chest, which extends like a funnel, turning that to shine right into this essence of light that connects us all as one. It runs through each of us like electricity. And let's begin with our breath, breathing this in through our heart centers to connect this divine essence with that divine essence that lives at the core that is deep in the center of the heart. And as we exhale, just relax and release and let your heart center become soft. And rest into this essence of light. The life force energy that carries all of the wisdom and the knowing. The existence of love and compassion. The state of being that is love and compassion. That state of being without attachment, without the pull of the emotions, but the unconditional, unwavering state of existence. That is the truth of the essence of all life here, including the life of each and every one of us and all of our brothers and sisters. So we'll just continue to breathe for a few minutes, just allowing your heart to face right into the center of this circle, into this light, to breathe this in to your heart center. I invite your heart to drink and drink and drink from this ocean of light, and allow your entire being to be filled, to be satiated, to be nourished, to be quenched with this ocean of divine light. This is an eternal ocean with no end and no beginning. You can never drink too much. No need to fear a lack. Your taking does not deprive another. So take from your heart and drink to your heart's fill of this essence of divine light, the state of existence of compassion and unconditional love. Breathe it deep into your heart, and as you exhale, just let all of your heart center, your heart space, just relax, release, and drop into a state of receiving. And if it feels right for you, you can ask that this intelligence, this divine intelligence, wash from your heart the fears, the trepidation that we may be holding around what is to come, and fill us with trust in the divine intelligence, and to also fill us with, or open us to, divine guidance for what is being asked of each and every one of us as we move into this new time, this new year, this new political climate. This new social, this new stage in the social evolution, the evolution of our social climate, and as well as our economic climate and our spiritual climate. What is being asked of each and every one of us, and how can we balance holding each other, every single one of our own selves and all of the people that we come into contact with in our circles, as well as our leaders. How can we balance holding them in the highest light, the highest intention, holding them and elevating them to the standard which we would like to see them stand in and hold for our country and for our people and for the highest of all of humanity, and still be open to guidance and to safeguard ourselves and our families, to be aware and wise in our perceptions, in our reactions, and our actions, to keep ourselves safe and to move for peace and healing in the world. So I'm going to read a little bit from the Sufi Book of Life again, this one, the Neil Douglas Clark Sufi Book of Life, and I've been reading from this off and on, and there's a link to this book on the website to find the information about this book on the website. We'll talk about that later. So there are, as I said, we pray for wisdom, because without wisdom, we cannot have justice. And without justice, we cannot have peace. In the Sufi Book of Life is about the 99 divine pathways of the heart for the modern dervish. And this is also referring to what's called the 99 names, the 99 attributes of God, which is a concept that's practiced in Sufism, calling on the attributes of God. There is God, which is like pre-existent, the pre-existent being, which is a presence that precedes presence, right? It precedes material existence. And so we have the first manifestation of this presence, this God consciousness, is divine light, divine compassion, and from this stems the all of the attributes of the divine, which is the first manifestation, and then from everything moves into existence from there, and eventually into this dense physical world that we live in right now. These qualities are the qualities of the divine, that is, we have the knowing of them, the knowledge of them, the existence of them, the presence of them, the vibration of them, the light of them in each one of our hearts. And our trick on this journey is, or our mission on this, I like to call it the ultimate reality show that we live in, that we've come to be a part of here. The mission is that we find these within ourselves as we go through this incredible obstacle course, having forgotten who we are, what we are, why we're here, and how to navigate this crazy journey that we're on. So there's a balance of really, honoring it, taking it seriously, and holding it as sacred, all while not taking it too seriously, not taking ourselves too seriously, and really getting the love and the joy from this opportunity that we have here. But all right, so as I said, without justice, we cannot have, without wisdom, we cannot have justice. So there's the names in the 99 attributes for God, for wisdom and for justice, come from the same root. For wisdom, it is Hakam, Al-Hakam. And for justice, it is Hakim, Al-Hakim. So I want to read from both of those just because they really are so important. And here we are, at this time of inauguration for our welcoming in a new president, if you will, or not, as the case may be. But we are inaugurating a new president and a new administration this week. So justice and equality and peace and is a very important topic at this time. So in this book, for al-Hakam, which is the justice, the judge, the arbitrator, it's the quality of God that is the justice, the arbitrator. It says, when you are guided to this pathway, he calls it, by the way, the sacred sixth sense. When you are guided to this pathway, take the opportunity to contact the place in you from which sensing arises. The sacred sense behind the outer senses of seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, and tasting remain in the middle of the swirl of impressions surrounding you as a witness. And so think about that as I read this. Let yourself set your intention to actually drop into that center place. Let your breath carry you deeper and deeper into your heart center, where that place of stillness is, where you can be a witness to what is swirling around you. When we're caught in the swirl, it's like I like to think of that as like I think of a giant oak tree. If you're out at the tips of the branches where all the leaves are and the wind blows, you're getting tossed all about and tossed from the tree, and your life can be pretty chaotic. But if you allow yourself to center and travel through the branches, travel into the trunk of the tree, and let yourself come deep into that space at the base of that tree that's solid and rooted into the ground, and let yourself observe the wind that swirls all around you from that place, you're going to stay solid. And it's going to take a heck of a lot to move you from there, but you're grounded, you're safe, you're solid. And as things swirl around you, you can observe them as a witness, and then you have choice. You have clear vision because you're not being tossed all around and your eyeballs swirling all around with the swirl. You have clear and steady vision, and you can observe and you can make wise choices. You can take in all kinds of information from all of your senses, including your sixth sense, and you can make wise choices. So this is the place that is important to be in order to glean the wisdom that is necessary in order to have justice. Out of a chaos of impressions, I'm back reading again. Out of a chaos of impressions, we somehow discriminate between what our senses take in and what we consciously experience. Even though we might call this the brain, the nervous system, or the self, there is really no scientific name for the organizing sixth sense. It prevents us from being overwhelmed by the flood of impressions to which we are constantly subjected, and enables us to say, I smell, I hear, I taste, I touch, I see. We know that something in us must do this because there are people whose sense of I-ness has splintered into multiple selves and who are unable to act as unified beings. Modern psychology has found that this often happens when a person does not receive enough healthy touch early in life. For the Sufis, our individual I, as well as the various impressions and feelings within us, find a home in the heart of the divine, the only I am, the one I am. Likewise, our individual senses are empowered by a sacred sense, which can connect us as directly to the source, Because this sense does its work without the need for us to consciously focus on it, we might ask, Why even think about it? In one sense, this part of our being represents our more primitive human intelligence, the animal part of our nature. Driven by the need to achieve, we often ignore and overwork this part of our being. If we listen to it, it would tell us that we need to respect certain limits if we want our bodies to stay healthy, and so help us fulfill our heart's desire. So this is about Hakam, the just, the arbitrator. This is from the same root as Hakim, the wise. So the roots of this pathway point to breath fully embodied, which is the H sound, with a dense yet to be explored territory, the KM sound. It is from the later root that we have the Arabic alchemia, the origin of the English word alchemy. Both roots also appear in the Hebrew word chachma, the holy wisdom or sacred sense, mentioned in Proverbs 8-9. As the creation story in Genesis 1:2-3 says, when divine darkness and divine breath make love, light intelligence or consciousness is born. Hakam is directly related to Hakim, discriminating wisdom, and indirectly related to Hak, which is truth, the embodiment of life energy. So Hakam, Hakim, once we learn to hold something clearly in the heart, we can practice sacred discrimination. Hakim, he calls sacred discrimination, that is the wisdom. So once we drop into our hearts, allow ourselves to have clear our senses and have a clear perception of what swirls around us, to gather the information as the witness, to become clear, then we have the discriminating wisdom, Hakim. This is yet another aspect of the inner capacity that we begin to develop with another of the qualities, Rakib, watching the presence. We could call these abilities seeing, listening, and holding something with the heart, the tools of holy wisdom. It says, as noted in the introduction, calling a circle of your inner self, the biblical book of Proverbs tells us that holy wisdom gathers all of our inner voices around a table to eat and drink together. From this gathering, a new sense of self arises and a new version of our I am. Ultimately, of course, our own I am is only virtual. It is a part of the divine beloved, the divine I am. This pathway shows the sense behind all senses works not only subconsciously, like Hakam, to make sense of the diverse impressions that come to us, but also actively, Hakim, the wisdom, an aspect of our conscious mind. Hakim is the spoken word that finds common ground and unites opposites. It is the part of our being that is able to live with the paradoxes of being alive. The holy book, the Quran, often pairs this word with Aziz, which is embodied strength, or Alim, which is the knowing, understanding differences in names and forms. So without the wisdom, clearing the senses and having the clear inner vision, from that place of being the witness, we cannot have the Hakim, the discriminating wisdom. I may have said that incorrectly. Hakam being the sacred sense that gives us clear judgment. We cannot have the discriminating wisdom. And without the discriminating wisdom, the clear sense, the discriminating wisdom, we cannot have equality and peace in this world. So I'd like to open up for prayers at this time. If you have prayers that you would like to offer for the circle, if you have intentions that you would like to offer, you can press *2 if you're on the phone, or if you're on the website, you can enter in a question into the form there, and I'll be happy to read it. And if there is nothing by spoken word today or written word, I invite you to offer through your intention and place whatever your intention is into the center of our circle today. We call on the one, the most merciful, the ever compassionate, the ultimate, all-knowing, all-sensing judge with the ultimate discriminating wisdom, Al-Hakam and Al-Hakim. And so we call on these qualities, we call on this vibration of Al-Hakam and Al-Hakim, these sacred sounds, these sounds that emanate the vibration of these sacred words, the vibration that is emitted when we speak these words, that is called in when we speak these words. They carry the meaning of the divine Al-Hakam and Al-Hakim, the sacred sense and the discriminating wisdom. Both of these are necessary to have peace. So as we place our prayers and intentions into the center of the circle, and as I said earlier, placing the intention along with your prayers and intention, of course, for peace, for safety, for healing, for wisdom, for justice, for equality, for peace, for all of the events of this coming week. And we call with the quality of Al-Hakam and Al-Hakim, as well as As-Salam, the peace. As we call on these qualities, call on these vibrations to join this vibration of divine light, compassion, and unconditional love at the center of our circle. Invite your heart to breathe these in as well. Let your funnel at the center of your heart space be like a funnel that breathes in these vibrations and these qualities, and breathe them deep into the center of your heart space, as deep as you can into the center of your heart space. Your heart is the portal through which you can travel to reach that place of knowing, that core of light within you that knows all of these vibrations where they have been breathed into you from the time that you were breathed into physical form. So let this you breathe in, just let yourself kind of fall back toward the front of your spine, and let this breath carry these vibrations of Al-Hakim, Al-Hakam, As-Salam. Let it carry these vibrations all the way into the core of your heart, into the core of your essence, and awaken and enliven these divine qualities within you so that they move from your subconscious more fully into your consciousness and infuse into every cell of your entire body. As we move through this world, we take on imprints and impressions into our cellular consciousness. And though our cellular consciousness knows the truth and carries innate wisdom, get confused with all the other stuff that we take on. So let this move throughout all of your entire body to every cell of your being to wash and clear the things that you have taken on through your senses and infuse them with this divine essence of Al-Hakam that clears your senses and brings you to that center place of knowing, where through your sixth sense you can have clear sight and clear vision and the knowing of the divine I am. Inshallah, God willing. So again, Al-Hakam, Al-Hakim, As-Salam, Al-Hakam, Al-Hakim, As-Salam, the peace. Let this be breathed into your heart center and let it be carried throughout all of your being to infuse into every cell of your being, to awaken and enliven into your consciousness, into your conscious knowing, the divine essence of the sacred sense, the knowing of the divine I am, of the discriminating wisdom, the sacred wisdom, and the peace, the state of being of peace. Let this infuse into all of your being so that you become an embodiment and a reflection of the sacred sense, of the wisdom, and of the peace in the world. And we hold this and invite this into all of those intentions that we've set and placed into the center of the circle, for all of the people that we pray for as we move into this pivotal time in this coming week. Al-Hakam, Al-Hakim, As-Salam, the justice, the wisdom, the peace. Al-Hakam, Al-Hakim, As-Salam. Al-Hakam, Al-Hakim, As-Salam. Al-Hakam, Al-Hakim, Salam. Al-Hakam. Al-Hakim. 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 Salam. I invite you to recite this with me if you'd like, and place the words into your heart center to help you to wash and clean your own senses. Return to that place of inner witnessing to realize the divine I am, to have a clear sight, and to glean the discriminating wisdom, to carry this in the world, to be a beacon for peace and for healing. Al-Hakam. Al-Hakim. Salam. Al-Hakam. Al-Hakim. Salam. Al-Hakam. Al-Hakim. Salam. Al-Hakam. Al-Hakim. Salam. As you continue with that, reciting that into your heart and breathing in that vibration, that essence from the sacred essence, the one. Just invite that and invite every cell of your being to take that and to drink it in from the eternal source. To let that infuse into all of your consciousness, the core of your being, from your mental state, from your heart center, and in every cell. All of the energy emitted from there. Just let this knowing be firm in you. That it becomes you, you become it, which is the truth of what you are. And you become the full embodiment of it. Each of us can carry this clarity, justice, wisdom, and peace in the world. And all of that which we pray for can be washed with this essence of justice and wisdom and peace. We just want to invite this essence, the consciousness of this essence, to ground you into your body. So I invite your conscious body to really drop into your physical and really take seat, a grounded seat into your physical body. Let you come in even deeper. You can stretch out your feet, wiggle your toes, and really feel this presence ground all the way into the soles of your feet, and to move all the way through you, anchoring you into the earth, to this earth plane, connecting you with this planet and all that exists within it. To really ground this essence of justice, wisdom, and peace, and light into this world. And this is a vibration, an essence, a presence that can stay with you as you move beyond this prayer and healing circle and move out into the world. So this isn't something that you stop and come back from. This is something you anchor in and carry forward from this point forward wherever you go. This actually helps you to be more grounded, to be more present, to be more clear, to be more centered, to be more aware, more discerning, more wise, more peaceful in everything that you do. An embodiment of that in every way, in every part of your life. So with that, I invite you to take another full and gentle breath. Put your feet on the ground. Stand up if it feels right for you, and just say yes. Say yes to all that has come in for your being and for the state of your being. Let it be solid. Let it fill you with strength and certainty. And from your heart, give gratitude to the One for what you've received, and gratitude for what is made with all of our prayers and intentions that we've offered for the circle today. And I do see there's a hand up, but before we go to that, for the video recording. Okay, I see there are some questions. Okay, so before we go to that, I want to go ahead and just stop the video recording because you can't hear what's going on the phone. You're welcome to join us on the phone line if you'd like. From this point forward, you can find that at joyfullylivingwellness.com/the community. If you're watching the this through YouTube, you can see the link there. As long as we're live, you can join us there. And I want to thank you for being here today. Give gratitude for your presence. And I invite you to join us again next week. We're live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can find a time zone converter on the website also. And if you have not already gotten your copy of the 10 foundational principles of spiritual healing, which we actually renamed to be the 10 spiritual principles of our human existence. You're welcome to pick up your copy there on the website. It's a nice reminder. So with that, I'll end the broadcast, the video broadcast. And again, thank you for being here. Visit the community for conscious living at joyfullylivingwellness.com/the-community. Thanks.